Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. Today we're gonna be discussing about Bitcoin. Today is the day Jerome Powell is gonna talk at the Jackson Hole Summit. And what we're going to see if he's going to decide whether to cut or to give us a hint about cutting interest rates, or is gonna keep them unchanged. And you can see this beautiful video right now to what was going to happen to crypto and stocks if Jerome Powell is not going to announce or give us a hint of a possible rate cut. That's so funny, right? Let's go straight away, guys, into the chart of Bitcoin so I can show you all the possible scenario. And of course, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, because we post one video every single day analyzing Bitcoin, the cryptocurrency market, and also the stock market. Guys, the situation is quite tricky right now with BTC because today is going to be all dependent on what Jerome Powell is actually going to say. Bitcoin at the moment, guys, I'm now on the 4-hour chart and I'm looking at this scenario from here. You can see that we have a nice trend line over here, which is going like a diagonal trend line going up this way from here. And also we have another trend line more down to this area over here. What I could be seeing, it could be Bitcoin pumping towards this area today in anticipation of Jerome Powell's speech. So whenever Jerome Powell is going to speak tonight in the European time, we could be seeing Bitcoin having a liquidity grabbing around this area over here, and then we are going to see how it's going to behave. Because of course, if Jerome Powell is going to be dovish, is going to hint of rate cuts, we could be seeing Bitcoin continuing to go into the upside, reaching 64 to 65 thousand dollars probably from here. But if it's not gonna give us a hint of any rate cuts, then we could be seeing, of course, a drop first of all to this area over here, then a bit of a pullback, and then another drop down to 55 to 56 thousand dollars. And like I always said, these guys, it's a market for traders and not for investors, because Bitcoin has been chopping up as well as the altcoins. So what you need to understand is to be able to learn how to identify shapes, to analyze coins in a proper way, and to learn how to trade. For example, like in this case over here, guys, on the USDT today, forming a head and shoulder, and you can see, guys, with our VIP group, I posted here this morning with a swing short, entering pretty much at 0.745750. You can see from here, Ondo went up to 0.745. He had a crazy drop to the downside, and that's what we brought home today. 16%, 9%. So, guys, if you want to understand and to trade that with professional traders, you're one of the best winning communities in on the web, guys. You need to join the VIP group. You can see we put trading calls every single day, member calls for our professional traders with all the explanation from here, Bitcoin daily analysis with heat map, anything you can think of, and also altcoin analysis with your favorite altcoins, short term, long term, anything you can think of. And that's how we are able to make money every single day trading the markets. Let's go back into Bitcoin, guys. So situation right now, better all the time, to stay away from here. I'm going to give you something which is quite interesting, in my opinion, is the fact that Bitcoin, looking at this chart from here, is almost forming what we call an inverted, complex inverted head and shoulders. So you have this two shoulders, one head and two shoulders. And in my opinion, this is going to play out if we're going to be able to, of course, break this level at roughly $62,500, then we should be able to shoot up roughly around this area over here, which is sitting at $66,000. But if you're going to have a failure, like a breakage from here, then of course we could be seeing Bitcoin dropping down to roughly this area over here. Why? Because we have our Fibonacci retracements. We can go and select. So if I draw a Fibonacci from here, what I'm usually looking at is, of course, first of all, as I explained before, I could be seeing Bitcoin potentially going up to this area. See by later tonight, we could be seeing then, of course, like a sort of a double top from here, one and then two, and then if it's going to break this level over here, we could be going down first level at 59,300, 57,000, but the last level, the golden pocket, is at 54,000, which in my opinion will make absolutely sense. We're going to go down to this way over here, then I could be see Bitcoin from here. And then from there, guys, what I'm expecting is going to be this. It's going to be this, this, and then this. So I still feel we're going to go up to 65,000 later on, but of course, it all depends on what our friend Jerome is going to say tonight. So very excited, guys. Of course, the VIP group already knows what to do in terms of trading. As you can see, we already put down our plan over here. And of course, we're going to make money out of here. Long or short, we don't care. Guys, let's also have a look at the stock market just to give you an idea if you're going to see a continuation to the upside. I want to give you this chart over here of the S&P 500. Now, the situation is quite interesting with the S&P 500 because yesterday we had a very nasty, what we called engulfing candle. Remember, guys, that crypto and stocks are highly correlated, but sometimes what can happen is that um, if the S&P 500 goes down and then Bitcoin goes down as well, but sometimes you can see that the S&P can do a consolidation. So you can consolidate, and pretty much investors, what they do, they take the money out from the S&P 500 and they put them into stocks and crypto. So in right now, you can see we printed a very nasty, what we call the engulfing candle over here. On the daily chart, there is an engulfing candle, and in general, this candle doesn't look good, and it suggests more reversal to the downside. So we had a beautiful run up, up to here. We almost recovered the previous all-time high. So right now, I'm trying to understand if this is the wave one out of 5 subway. So we could potentially bring us by the end of the year at 6,500, or is this an ABC correction? So we had A over here, so we had A over here, we have B over here, we have A over here, we have B over here, and then we have C over here, which should be supposed to be maybe down this area over here. So I'm trying to understand both, but in general, what I will be thinking is that we are potentially into a wave one out of five, and now we're going to have a correction to the downside, which then would suggest that Jerome Powell is going to don't say anything about rate cutting tonight. So then it's going to cause a sell-off in the S&P 500. And then from here, we're going to see wave three to a new all-time high at 6,000, then a drop again down to here, and then a final wave five to 6,400. So either way, I'm expecting a little bit of a pullback from here. So what I'm really interested to see right now is once the S&P 500 is going to pull back down to this area, is the money going to be taken out from the S&P 500 and put them into small caps like Bitcoin and all of that because they've been already bashed, or Bitcoin is going to go down as well? That's the $1,000,000 question. My opinion is that what I saw in the past is whenever the S&P 500 was actually consolidating a little bit, then gave space for small caps as well as Bitcoin to continue to go to the upside. Even the S&P could be forming by doing that a inverted head and shoulder, and then if it's going to be continued, of course, it's going to bring us to our target at roughly 6,300, and that's what we could be seeing. But right now, this candle doesn't look great. We can also have a look at the weekly chart a little bit more to see what happens. Again, it's a shooting star, doesn't look great in my opinion. The monthly candle as well, although we had a beautiful recovery, I would say that the monthly candle also is showing like a little bit of a toppy pattern, and I really would like to see a little bit more consolidation from here, maybe down this way to give space to other assets like Bitcoin, crypto, and also small cap stocks to, of course, catch up with the S&P 500, and then the S&P should be putting like one last final blow off top. The last one I also want to have a look, guys, is the DXY dollar currency index. Very important for understanding if the stock market and crypto can go to the upside. And as you can see right now, guys, we broke this very important level of support. Right now, we are pretty much sitting at this level here at roughly $101. And what I could be expecting in general, whenever you break this very important level of support, in general, you can see a little bit of a retest, up to this area. So maybe tonight, if Jerome Powell is going to be hawkish, like I'm expecting to, it's not going to be as dovish. We could be seeing a ramp up of the US dollar going back, around this area and retest this previous level of support. And if that happens, of course, it's going to put lots of pressure into Bitcoin, crypto, and stocks, and we could be seeing a sell-off in risk assets. But then what I could be thinking could be just a attempt to try to reclaim this line over here, and then continuation to the downside, especially when the Fed is going to cut interest rates. And it will definitely make sense, because if you think about it, I'm going to go and cancel a little bit. I'm going to go on the 4-hour chart to show you a little bit better what I mean by that. So let's say, for example, that right now the DXY is forming on the 4 hours an inverted head and shoulder. You can see, like, from here we have shoulder, head, and shoulder. So what we could be see could be a continuation up to this area, maybe even up to here, and then from there, what's going to be happening? It could be around 26th of August. We could see then a little bit of a rejection, but even going on the daily, I'm going to go on the daily and show you a little bit better what is my idea. So we have one over here, and then we have another one over here. So it could be going maybe up to this area here, or even as high as here, guys. And what I want to show you is quite interesting. So we had a breakdown from this area to this area over here. If I am correct, sorry, I'm going to put it just like that. Okay, so that's like an approximation, but we had this breakdown all down to this area. And if you actually have a look at what could be happening, could be a retracement up to this area, up to here by roughly the 17th or 16th of September. And this is going to be before the FOMC meeting, when the Fed is going to decide to whether cut interest rates or keep them unchanged. And of course, then they're going to declare a rate cut. Then, of course, you could be seeing this happening. And that's what I think is going to be happening. So, of course, this and this, not going to be very bullish for Bitcoin and crypto. So I could be expecting, as I said before, a maybe dump down to here, then pump up to here, and then maybe another dump. But I guess, we're going too much into the future. Right now, I think that tonight is going to be very, very important. If Jerome Powell is going to be hawkish, we could be seeing a drop down to 55, 56,000. If it's very dovish, could be maybe going up to 64,000. But again, guys, as traders, you can always trade the extreme. And I'm going to give you also like from macro point of view as well, what could be happening with Bitcoin, guys. I'm still believing that the top is not in, and we should be seeing like a mid-term top coming sooner rather than later. Maybe in a month, at end of the year, we could be seeing maybe one last drop down to here, pick up from here, correction, and then by maybe the 6 months, later 6 months in 2025, a final blow off, something like that. So that's again, very exciting times, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope it was helpful to make you understand what's going on, and also how to trade. But if you really want clear signals and to trade and proper analysis, join the VIP group, because you will not regret it. Link in the description. I'm gonna also tomorrow post a video about some altcoins price predictions, so stay tuned, subscribe to the channel, and I'm gonna see you in the next video.